Welcome back to my channel, everybody. I am back. Thank you so much for those who have subscribed while I have been a little bit MIA, I must say. So in this video, as you can see by the title, I am using the talked about Kendall palette from Kylie Cosmetics. It is such a beautiful palette. There's a lot of neutrals, as some of y'all know already, and that's why I kind of have gravitated towards those on this look. I do have a little pop of color, as you can see, but if you want to see what colors I used, please stay tuned and get your snacks ready because I do have a lot of chit chat on this video. Thank you so much for sticking with me, for subscribing, and for sharing and liking. Please leave your comments below and I'll make sure to get to them. Thank you and stay tuned. All right, so let's get started. As I said on the intro, I am playing with this baby today, and I have to say I'm very impressed with the packaging. It is a very satin smooth texture, and it is texturized, like the wording, it says Kendall on here, and it's arisen from the actual surface of the palette. So it's very nice. I'm very impressed with the quality. It is a small palette. If you're used to something like Jeffree Star or the Norvina palette or Jaclyn Hill, it is very small in comparison. And I did want to save the actual box just to show on the video what it looks like. But I'm very impressed. I didn't expect any less from a Kylie product. And then the actual palette looks like this. And again, you have the names of each color on the back. And then also, once you get the palette and you open it, you have a mirror on the top of the palette, of course. And then again, you have the colors. And on the bottom of each color, you have, again, the name. To be honest, for the price point, I paid $42. The shipping was free. And I think I paid like $42. I'm not sure if that was including tax or not, but I didn't spend more than $50 for this palette. And I have to say that I'm pretty satisfied with the size of the palette, because comparison, I have the Norvina palette here in comparison to the size of the Kendall palette. I mean, it's a huge difference in size, but how many of us really hit pan on all our palettes that we purchase? Very rarely. So I think that for the price point, the size is all you really need, because you're not gonna go in on a palette like that to actually hit pan on every single color. So a lot of us do gravitate towards one specific color in each of our palettes, and that's it. But to use all of them, you don't really get to. And so, so I just wanted to show you guys my review. I haven't swatched the colors. I'll see right now, and as I go, I'll say if I see anything that to me seems patchy on the eye. But let's just play and see what we find works or doesn't work with the palette. So I've already done my eyebrows, and I've already put on some base on my eyelids. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a clean fluffy brush, and I'm going to go in with I'm Telling Mom. And I'm going to put this I'm Telling Mom color all on the upper part of my lid. And I'm gonna use that as my transition shade. But to be honest, I was really hype about purchasing this palette, because this is the first actual Kylie palette that I purchased and or own at all. I've never bought one, or I don't own one, and so I was really excited to see the quality of the eyeshadows and, you know, all of that good stuff. So I do own some of her liquid lipsticks, but I think it's just like one or two, and a lip gloss that a friend of mine so kindly gave me, Jeanette Lisea. She was not kind enough to gift that to me. But other than that, I don't have any other Kylie cosmetic product, so I was really hyped to own this palette. All right, so we have, it's a really pretty light orangey shade. It is very pretty, and I'm gonna blow this out a lot and kind of go in on this color because I do want it to be seen. All right, and then after that, I'm gonna take another fluffy brush, kind of the same size brush. This is a Morphe M433 brush, and I'm gonna go in with this Loyal color that we see down here, and I'm gonna go in on that one and take it a little bit lower to be the transition shade. But I am going to end up covering my whole eyelid. So yeah, I was really excited, but I don't know, there are a lot of palettes. I was really tempted to purchase the Jawbreaker palette. That was actually one that I was really looking forward to purchasing as well. And I was really indecisive between the Jawbreaker palette and this one. The Jawbreaker, I believe, is a little bit pricier, but it is a different shade range. But I don't have any Jeffree Star palettes either, but I was really more curious about the Kylie than the Kylie cosmetic product than the Jeffree. So, but I am for sure definitely in the near future, I do want to look forward to owning a Jeffree Star because I've just heard so many good things about them. But yeah, so I want to go ahead and you know, make it be known that I hadn't posted a video in maybe like a week, which means that I haven't filmed in like maybe a week and a half. It doesn't really take me, like, if I film like I'm filming today, which is Wednesday, I for sure will probably post this video by Friday the most, you know, just depending how busy I get with my full-time job. But yeah, I had you know, my vibe had been a little, you know, down, I want to say, you know, just off. And before I go into that story, I'm gonna go in, I'm seeing like you can see the difference of the colors on like my normal mirror, but you can't really tell on camera. So I'm gonna go in with the more orange shade. It's called Thicker Than Water, and I'm gonna hit that on the top to make more of a difference. Okay, so like I was saying, I had been like in a little funk. I'm not gonna lie, as most of you guys that maybe, you know, watch me, I'm pretty sure it's people that I know, that have me friended on Facebook or, you know, friended on Instagram. But I'm from Houston, and I was born and raised here, and I just honestly been consumed and very appalled, I want to say, and disappointed with the Vanessa Guillen story. I'm pretty sure like a lot of you guys have, you know, you're not living under a rock, and you know, or somewhat have an idea of who she is and, you know, what happened to her. But yeah, so, you know, if there's somebody that's watching that doesn't know her story, I'm just gonna take a brush and just kind of you know, blend out the edges. So Vanessa Guillen was a soldier, a U.S. Army soldier, and she had been missing from base for 60-something days, and you know, her family just, it got to the point where her family was just you know, like any regular family, you know, just concerned and outraged at the lack of response and interest that the Army was putting towards their missing family member. You know, and they just, it didn't make sense, you know. It didn't make sense to me as a person from the outside looking in. It didn't make sense to, obviously, her own family. It doesn't make sense to anybody. You know, how can a soldier who's at work and living on base not be found or be missing when she had never, you know, she was on base? So it's just it's just something that hit home for me. I don't know if it's the whole Houston part, the whole Mexican part. I don't know exactly. I think, to be honest, it's just the human part that kind of just hit home for me, and to the point that it just kind of, it made me sad. You know, it made me sad that this is something that's happening in 2020. Like, this is something that she was murdered on base by her superiors or peers or whoever, you know, whatever happened to her. I don't want to go into details about what I think, you know, happened to her, but the fact that, you know, she trusted this system, her family gave her full support and trusted their baby with them, and for this to happen, like, it just doesn't make, it's not right, you know. And it's not right, the fact that it's still till today, I mean, it's been probably like a week now that they found her remains, and that they know that it's her, and the Army still hasn't given her family an honest answer, you know. And they want to wrap, you know, everything up with just you know, like, just put everything under the rug and move on, you know. Like, she had been saying, you know, she told her family, she told some of her peers, you know, that she had been sexually harassed by these, you know, sergeants or I don't know, captains, just superiors to her, and nobody listened. Like, I mean, people listened or probably heard, but nobody actually did anything, you know. And the fact that these leaders are just wanting to put everything under the rug like it didn't happen, and just not even, you know, say, well, there's nothing that actually links this to an actual harassment. Like, this just happened because she, you know, stuck her nose where it didn't belong. Who does that? Who wants to put their life at risk, you know, just for a good soap opera wannabe, you know, entertainment? Like, nobody, trust me, and being especially Mexican, Latina, whatever you want to say, like, I'm not gonna sit here and tell my mom that I'm being harassed and fabricate this whole story to worry her for nothing when it's me generating this. Like, there's no way that happened. So, you know, I'm just disappointed in the system, how the system failed her, how the U.S. Army, you know, is supposed to, you know, be all about brotherhood and no soldier left behind, yet all these things happened to her on base. I think the saddest part to me is that this had to happen to this innocent 20-year-old for her to be the one to uncover everything else that had happened to so many other people. And at that point, you realize that it's not about race, it's not about what language you speak, it has nothing to do with that. It's just that these people are given just a little bit of power, and they want to take advantage, you know, of the situation, you know, and they abuse their power. And it's sad, it's disappointing, it's sad. It makes me very sick to my stomach, you know, because I personally have so many people around me that have you know, gone to service, that have been in the military, and or are, and, you know, to just put myself in this situation and think that this could have happened to them, like, that makes me sad. And I think that's what kind of mostly gets to me, that this could have been my friend, this could have been you know, this could have been my best friend's sister, this could have been my best friend's brother, this could have been, you know, one of my best friends that I know since high school. Like, that's what makes me so, like, sad. And yes, this happened to somebody that I don't know, but, you know, it still doesn't justify it, and it still doesn't make me any less, you know, sympathetic to the situation, because it could have been my friend, it could have been, you know, somebody that I know and that I had known for years. And I just can't believe that something like this happened when, you know, when they're supposed to be safe, you know. And I know it just makes me feel like, you know, yes, it's not about, you know, you can't control how other people act, you can only control your actions. But, you know, where are we headed to? I mean, if us as citizens, we're just letting you know, these things happen, and we're just like, you know, not demanding any justice, or not demanding any you know, explanation to what happened, you know, logical, not this BS story that they want to, you know, put in our head. You know, like, then if we don't demand it, you know, then that makes them think that we're okay with it, and that just like this happened, anything else can happen, and we're just gonna, you know, roll over and, you know, be okay with it. And that's definitely not the case, at least from my point of view. You know, and that mom, that Vanessa Guillen's mom, deserves, you know, to be heard, and she deserves to be, you know, to be given an answer to, you know, just because she's an immigrant or whatever the case may be, you know, does not make it okay for her to not receive an answer. Because so it's okay for her daughter, you know, it was okay for the country to take her daughter and the military to take her daughter in for service, but she's not good enough to receive an answer to what happened to her, you know, like that. No. So it's okay, you know, for her to go and fight and, you know, give her life, but she's not good enough to receive an explanation, or a true explanation to what happened to her daughter. Like that's doesn't make sense to me, or I believe to anybody, you know. And like I said, the most unfortunate part is that it's not just Vanessa, you know, and it's not about race. It's not about you know, whose life matters. It's like, you know, at this point, it's really like all those innocent people. Like Vanessa's family just hasn't, I guess, has been resilient, you know, and has gone above and beyond. But how many other soldiers, you know, their family, they didn't have families to speak up for them, or that's why they got, you know, taken advantage of, because their families never spoke up. So I mean, it's just, I could go on, and you know, talk about how disappointed I am. And you know, I know I don't really, this is the first time that I kind of like share my point of view on camera, but this is just something that just really, it hit home for me, because like I said, I have a lot, you know, I have a couple, you know, people that are close to me that have been in service, and it just made me really think like that could have been them. And you know, I can't even imagine. And even if it's in this case it wasn't them, but you know, I just put myself in those shoes. And yeah, it's crazy. Like I just, I have no words. Like I have no words to explain or to try to you know, it's just sad. It's heartbreaking. And yeah, so that's really why I hadn't been really posting much on, well, I hadn't posted a video. I had been in a rhythm where I was posting 2 videos almost weekly, but yeah, that is just that has been something that has been heartbreaking for me. And I did want to like comment on it. And you know, there's nothing that could really change my mind or make me you know, change my point of view on how I feel about that. And but I mean, if y'all are more than welcome to chime in on the comments about what, you know, you think or how you feel. You know, this is a safe place. But yeah, but that's just, you know, my thoughts on that. And yeah, so I've just been kind of in a little, you know, funk because of all that. And so yeah, so you know, that gives very a very small room to want to, like, you know, it makes you kind of feel like, well, you know, those family members or her, Vanessa herself, like, you know, like just kind of mourn for her, you know, and all at this point, all I can ask for is, you know, for God to keep her soul and, you know, grant her peace wherever, you know, she may be, and to, you know, give her family comfort, you know, and you know, just to let them know that we're thinking about them, and you know, we're hurting with them, obviously never in comparison to the way they might be hurting, but you know, we're thinking about them definitely. And so yeah, you know, just I've been really just thinking about that lately. And it, you know, I received the palette, and like I think Friday of last week, I want to say, or something like that, and or Saturday. And but I've, you know, just been putting off filming because I think about it and I'm just like, it's not fair, you know, it's not fair that our life goes on, and you know, and Vanessa can't, you know, and so many others can't, because people were selfish, and because people, you know, they just, I don't know what goes on, and you know, at that moment, what can go on in your head. But yeah, it's just unfair. And so I went on with my makeup without really explaining. So what I did was, just to deepen the outer corner of the eye, I put the Brunette's Do It Best. And if y'all can tell, the palette does have fallout. It's not a big deal to me. I mean, I really don't see myself hitting pan. I mean, I don't think I have a palette that I have hit pan on, no matter how much I've used them. I mean, y'all seen my Jaclyn Hill beat up palette, and I haven't hit pan on that. So the fallout doesn't bother me. And but yeah, so all I did was I put that Brunette's Do It Best on the outer corner of the eye, and I also put it underneath. And then I'm just taking that bright orange shade, the Thicker Than Water, and I put it under here. So I'm trying to blow it out the best that I can, just so it could. And remember that if you want to like make it stick and stand out, you have to pat it first, like kind of pat it in your eye, and then once it's there, you can like fluff it out. But you have something like that. Okay, and then I did use a kind of like flat brush to put on that yellow in the inner corner. And again, if you ever lose like the impact of the color, just go back and pat it in. And I did put concealer already, so you want to be a little careful. You know, you can always go back in and clean it up again, but be more careful because now you do have that underneath. So then I'm just gonna set. And right now I am setting with this sponge, but I have been setting my nose area with a brush. because I feel like the sponge has been picking up. I don't know if it has to do with the powder that I'm using or the foundation that I'm using or the actual sponge, but I just feel like it picks up like on my nose area, it picks up the makeup. So I don't really like that it does that, obviously, because I want my nose makeup to stay. But yeah, so I've been applying and it seems to do better with the brush. But then for my face, I just go in with the big fluffy brush, and I really don't even apply. Like, I just take all the extra from all over my face and I just go like that. All right, and it looks so much better like in person. My camera does no justice to how pretty like these really bright like orange shades look. But yeah, so that's what we have. And so I'm gonna get off camera since I finished talking and sharing my point of view. I'm gonna get off of camera and then I'll come back to finish the look. So as you can see, this is the final look that I achieved using this beautiful Kendall and Kylie Cosmetics palette. I am very happy with the end result of this makeup look. I know I kind of went a little you know, out of the video to finish my look, but I did want to go back and tell you, of course, the highlighter that I use is the Jaclyn Hill Balm highlight. And for eyelashes, I do have a Baddie Bee Lash. It's not my Sugar Baby normal. It is her synthetic line. This is hashtag Babydoll. That's the name of this eyelash. It is not a mink lash. It is a synthetic lash, but it is just as beautiful. I really like it. And for my lip, I did go a little bit on the neutral darker side. You can use a more warmer tone. I just do like to sometimes go a little outside the box, as you could tell with my lipsticks. So I did use Posh Spice by Jeffree Star, and yeah, that's what I used. I did also do a little black eyeliner on the lower waterline, and yeah, I don't know if there's anything else that I'm missing, but this look, I must say that I will definitely be going back to this palette and maybe doing a little bit more something a little bit more brighter, more using the green. I'm really tempted to use the greens in this palette. So I will definitely be doing another video with this palette. I am going to be using these videos to use and abuse all the makeup that I have, I must say. But thank you so much for listening to me. I don't want to keep, you know, ranting. I know that I spoke about something that is very, very dear to me and has hit home, like I've said throughout the video. So I don't feel like it was a rant. I don't feel like it's something that's never gonna be overexposed. I think it's something that needs to be you know, talked about and screamed, you know, about, to be honest. And if anybody has a way of pitching in with a family or reaching out, please do so. And you know, I can't stress enough how hurt I am, you know, by this, and how sad and disappointed I am with the system. But thank you for watching, for staying. If you have stayed up until now, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you for those who have subscribed. Thank you for those who leave, you know, beautiful comments, and I really appreciate it. And yeah, I know my platform is not huge, but I'm always gonna speak, you know, my mind, and I'm always gonna talk about, you know, things that matter to me. And if, you know, even if I reach out to one person with this video, that's more than enough to me. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching. That's all I can really say and stress out. Please like, share, subscribe, and please remember to come back and watch my next video. Thank you for watching, and you guys stay blessed wherever you are.